God bless you, my St. Stephen Church family. This is Minister Kevin James, cordially inviting you to participate with us all week on Holy Week. Holy Week is the time that we celebrate Jesus, first of all, his triumphal entry into Jerusalem, and that is going to be on March the 28th in this room at 9 a.m. We will have our pre-show, and then at 9:30, our worship with our praise team. We'll be waving our palms and celebrating Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem. Then on Friday, Good Friday, April the 2nd, we will have a 12 noon service right here in this sanctuary. You want to tune in. Our special guest will be our own Brother Jesse Williams. Brother Jesse celebrated with us for years, working with our Indiana campus, and we're so glad that he's going to be back sharing with us. Then on Friday night, ministers and singers from all three of our campuses will be sharing in word and in song the hymns of Zion and the reflections from the 7 last words of Jesus from the cross. That will be Friday at 6 p.m. You want to tune in. And then we'll culminate Holy Week on Easter Sunday, Resurrection Day, April the 4th. Our special guest will be Minister Callie Day. She will be sharing in ministry with us, and our praise team will be in full regalia. Be with us for Holy Week, Palm Sunday, Good Friday, and Easter Sunday. Look to see you here.
Hello and welcome to the week that changed the world. We are on day 4, Wednesday. Now, Wednesday, many Bible scholars would tell you that things are quiet on Wednesday. After Jesus, as we can say, turned the place out on Tuesday, we weren't able to get into that. But he did his woe unto you, you scribes and Pharisees. Once he did that, and he said, you will not see me again until you be ready to say, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Then we do not see Jesus in the temple on Wednesday. But Wednesday is of great importance because we feel, and it is felt, that this is when Judas, who has already put in his heart to betray Jesus, goes to the Sanhedrin people and to the Pharisees to betray Jesus. So now I'm going to read you a scripture. Now this scripture really is from Thursday, but it has an important thought in it. I want to read it to you for day Wednesday. John chapter 13. Verse 1 from the King James Version. Now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. Verse 2, and supper being ended, that lets us know that it's Thursday. The devil, having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. So you see, by Thursday, he had already made up his mind, had made the plot, the plan, everything, with the Pharisees, the scribes, the Sanhedrin, the temple guards, and everybody to betray Jesus. Because they have no idea where Jesus is, but Judas will betray him. Now, before we go into that, I have a point to ponder for you. My question to you, how are you betraying Jesus? Is he first or last in your life? Do you say one thing and do another? Do you witness to others? Are you one of the people who pray, thy kingdom come? Then I have a question for you. What are you doing to bring his kingdom? So before we just jump on Judas, let's make sure that we don't have the Judas spirit in us. All right? Now, our lesson today is what's that in your heart? Because remember, we read from verse 2, John chapter 13, and supper being ended, the devil, having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. Well, question: how did Satan get into his heart? Now here Judas walked with Jesus, one of the 12, is daily in his presence. But the Bible said the devil having now put into the heart of Judas. So how did he get in? Well, let me ask you this question. What does the devil really want from you? Think about that. What does the devil really want from you? Now, I hear you saying he wants your heart. Yeah, he'll get that. But there is something that he wants from you. And if he gets it, he'll get your heart. You know what that is? Your mind. The devil wants your mind. So for him to have gotten into Judas's heart, Judas had to first think wrong. You see, we need to get rid of stinky thinking. And that's the first way he does. He begins to get into our mind. You see, when he wandered up there to Eve and he began, you see that? Now, what do you think? See, getting into your mind, don't stop and have a conversation with him because you can out-talk him. Now, okay, so how did he get in? Do you remember as a child? I do. Growing up, my mother and the adults would say to you, they would shout to you. I can hear my mother shouting right now, close the door. And then they would say something like, well, you wasn't born in a barn, so close the door. You know, and as children, we couldn't be bothered with such things as stopping and closing the door. But that principle, we need to really learn. Close the door. In fact, we're even told, 2 Kings chapter 4, when Elijah told the widow woman, he said, go and borrow not a few jars, but borrow a lot of empty vessels. And when you have gathered them, go into your house and do what? Close the door. Jesus even says, and when you should pray, don't be like the hypocrites. Don't stand out there praying so everybody can see you, because they love standing in the synagogue on the corners of the street. He said that they may be seen by others. He said, I tell you, verily I say unto you, they shall be rewarded. But you, watch the butts. I tell you all the time, watch the butts. But you, when you pray, go into your secret closet. And when you have shut the door, see, so if you know anything, let's go back again. Remember that over in Revelations chapter 3, Jesus said, behold, I knock at the door. If any man hears me and open the door, I will come in. I will come in. I will sit with you. I will eat with you. I will drink with you. But you got to let him in. Well, Let me tell you, that same thing. We let the devil in. Okay. Let me try to break it down to you some more. This was a silent day for Jesus to be teaching, but it's a whole lot going on that you need to understand. You remember, see, we need to study. The Bible says, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman who need not be ashamed, but rightly divide the word of truth. Now, so let's back it up. See, we love to rush through it and read it, and I read it. Did you really read it? But see, if you read it, it will read you. Woo! Said Geneva. Now, you remember after Cain killed Abel. No. I'm getting before myself. When both Abel and Cain both did their sacrifice, and God accepted Abel's sacrifice, but he kind of frowned, looked side-eyed at Cain's sacrifice. After that, go back and read it. He says to Cain, why is your countenance down? Do you not know Satan is crouching at your door, waiting to get in? And so, my sisters and brothers, that's what he does. Satan comes through the door. He don't have to sneak in and break in because we let him in. How does he get in? The church doors are closed right now, but every Sunday, you may go to Bedside Baptist Church. You may decide, I'm not going to go back. I'm just not ready to go back because I'm not too sure everything is sanitized. I just got to wait and see. You may stay home, but I guarantee you, Satan is going to come. And what he's going to do is stand outside the church door. And as people walk up, he will say to them, will you take me in? Will you take me in? And somebody will bring him in. He can't break in on his own. He can't come in on his own. Let me tell you another thing. One of the first times, every time, that I have to preach here at St. Stephen, I can get so nervous. I get sick almost. But when I finally get to the door, and the ushers are the person that's with me, opens up the door and I step in the sanctuary. That's when all doubt and all fear begins to fall away. Because I know that the fella, if he even come in the sanctuary, he can't stay because there's too much fire, too much spirit. So we let him in. And if you let him in, he is going to stay in. And you will be just like Judas. What's that in your heart? Judas agreed to betray Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. 30 pieces of silver. Well, we need to tell Satan. And here's what you need to do. When he comes to your door, you say to him, I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. Because he, somehow or another, he will get into your house, to your heart, to your home, into the church. Because we bring him in. He will come in through the strategy of affliction, perversion, confusion, pressure, death. He'll even use death. He'll come up to you and say to you real nice and quiet, if God loved you so much, why did he let this person die? Why didn't he raise him up? If you believe he can, why didn't he? Poverty, pride, he will come in. So I'm going to tell you, if you think he's in your house, in your heart, in your mind, you get him out. Because we need to remember there's power in the name of Jesus, and it can break every yoke. Open up your front door and declare that this house is a house of God, and say, Satan, you got to leave. You got to get up out of here. He has to go, because there's power. Even though Jesus is quiet and nothing seems to be going on, things are going on behind the scene. But when he comes knocking, you can look out there and say, I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. See you tomorrow. We'll talk about Thursday.